Hi everybody, it's Colleen and Joy here. Joy's going to be making a little bit of a sound. I don't want to be, I don't want to exclude her because of it. She does have a bit of a heart problem, and so she does have trouble with her breathing. She's on medication for it, but I still think, I still think that it was, you know, not. It should be better that she gets to partake of the viewing of the vlog, because I haven't done my dogs in the vlogs for a little bit. So here she is. She'll pretty much be quiet. You'll just notice a little, like little squeaky noise coming out of her. Okay, so I decided I was going to like give you a little bit of an update or rundown. I've been having some questions asked, and quite a few of them are pretty much one and the same question, but from different people. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to do this quick vlog and kind of get everybody caught up on what's happening. Oh, maybe. Oh. Okay, so here's the dealio. I never did let anybody know what happened with my experimental round, the last one that I did. And, well, basically what happened was I went through the whole round, but obviously the rest of my abnormal fat, I got rid of the first week of the round. After that, it was very difficult with being able to stay on protocol and not be starved. So the thing is that, when you read pounds and inches, Dr. Simeon's flat out says that once your abnormal fat is gone, then you are going to be very uncomfortable trying to stay in that 500 calorie range, whether you're taking HCG or not, because your abnormal fat has been depleted. So I experienced that firsthand. So what would happen was I would fluctuate. I hit my 122, and then because I would end up eating more, because by the end of the day, it's like, you've got willpower, you've got willpower, you've got willpower. And then by nearing the end of the day, as far as around dinner time, I would always end up eating more protein, just different various things that were not on protocol. So I would bounce up a little bit and back down. Now, the good news is that my body definitely had created a new set point and did not want to go above 125 ever. So pretty much I stay within the 122 range. Sometimes I'll bounce up a couple pounds, bounce back down, and that's what's been happening since that time. So my next experiment, because yes, I'm the lab rat, is that I'm going to try a couple different things. One being, I'm going to go ahead and try the mud cake thing, because I never have tried that. And since people do ask me a lot of questions, I always prefer to answer in knowing from actual personal experience, not, well, this is what I heard. So I'm going to try that, not at the beginning of this week, but near the end of the week. I'm going to try that, the mud cake and the steak day, but without HCG, obviously. And the other thing I'm going to try is, since last 20 pounds, I is real big on this Shakeology thing. And normally my preferred shake is J-Rob. I told her that I would go ahead and I'd give that a try and see what I thought of it, because as she puts it, she thinks there's something magical in the stuff, because she always seems to lose when she makes sure she takes it. So I'm going to try that. So that's kind of my plan, because yes, my abnormal fat must be gone, must be depleted. And and two, it's not like that round was a waste of time, because I did lose in those sizes, so that was awesome, being able to get into the ones and size 25 jean. So that was, stellar for me on that point. So, so that was that. I need to do my measurements, though. I need to see what measurements I lost. I'm totally on that ever so odd round. I'm sorry, I don't have those numbers, because it just dawned on me, obviously, as I'm talking to you, that that's something I still need to do. Now I want to also answer a few frequently asked questions that I've been having lately. One, let's go ahead and talk about hair. It was my experience that actually before HCG, I was actually getting massive hair loss, like really scary, crazy. So much of the hair in the brush, and even my hairdresser was kind of ultra concerned. And a lot of people contributed that at the time because I had been on quite a long fast prior to even knowing about HCG. So, So everybody was, blaming that. I don't know if that's what was to blame for it, but from that time on, I was taking, real good hair vitamins. So then when I found out about HCG, I kept on with the hair vitamins, and I love supplements, so I was on all kinds of different other supplements as well. And actually, what I found once I got on HCG was that the hair loss that I had been experiencing stopped, and my hair was, being more and more healthy. So for me, that's how it worked out. So my one concern, though, was that once I was done with HCG, if my hair loss might kick back in like it was prior to knowing about HCG. It has not. Um, if anything, I think because of a couple of the other supplements that I have added in, my hair has been growing a lot faster. Like I just told someone on a message today, there had been times in the past that I didn't have hair loss, but as far as additional hair growth, sometimes when my hair appointment would come due, I kind of look at the root and say, I wonder if I really even need to go get a retouch. And all you people going, see, she's not blonde. I only put myself back to what I was prior to having children. For whatever reason, after I had my kids, my hair started to come in darker. But I grew up blonde, and I am a blonde, dagnabbit. That's my take on it. Because it's not fair that just because I got pregnant with kids, that my hair decided to come in a bit darker. Because I grew up blonde. That's it. End of story. Okay, so, so now I'm actually seeing more accelerated growth as well as just healthy hair. So, and no, and very, very, if any, in the brush when I brush my hair. Maybe like 1 or 2 strands, if that, when I brush. So that's the answer to that question. Now on let's swing the pendulum to another subject. Somebody else asked me as far as when do I take my apple cider vinegar and MCT oil drink shots. I like, and I think is best to take those prior to you're going to have your dinner. Because usually, even when you're on HCG and it's, it's working the way it's supposed to work as far as, the hunger at bay kind of thing, I would say, and I think most of you would probably agree, if you're going to be even slightest bit kind of hungry, you're not even hungry, but maybe because it is dinner time, you're making dinner for the family, and there might be some foods that you kind of wish you could eat just because, because everybody else is getting to eat them. It really cuts on any hunger pang and or craving that you might have. So I like doing it usually right before a dinner time, and then basically actually right as soon as I walk in the door after work. So that's when I like to do that. Other question was, when do I like to take my calorie kickers? My calorie kickers I like to do one of 2 ways. One being either like kind of later in the morning before afternoon time, like maybe I'll drink half of the drink down, and then I'll drink the other half in the mid-afternoon, again around those times when usually people kind of feel that drop in like energy and or like their hunger might have like a dipsy-do kind of thing. And it's funny because if I do have it like mid-morning, like just before noon-ish, a lot of times I'll realize that I want it because I'm feeling a little hungry. Now again, remember, I'm going on a very recent past experience when I was really having to go through that round where hunger was really tough on me because the HCG had already done its work on the abnormal fat. So I was really, going without amount of calories that my body would not normally need. So there's that. And if the question is being asked as far as why I'm going to try these other experiments if all my abnormal fat has gone up, I haven't already covered that already. Because I'm Colleen, because I'm a lab rat, because I'm still wondering if 119 might be a possibility. But at the same time, if it's not, the sizes that I am, I'm fine with. I'm totally fine with. And I think too, I'm maybe kind of in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that being a little underweight, which really wouldn't be much of an underweight situation, because I did ask my doctor and he said that 120 would be a healthy weight for me if that's what I so chose to do. Now, he also said the size I was already was perfectly fine. I looked healthy, I was healthy, and blah, 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 blah. But as far as the medical community, I did get a thumbs up from the doctor that if I wanted to get to 120, that would be fine. So I know I'm even pushing it one more pound under that, but it's just the thing about, just like when those want to go from the 200s to Wonderland, you just want to see if you can get to that next level. So I just want to see if I can get to the teens. So, so there's that. And also, my brother, who, if you've ever watched any of my older vlogs, but the one where I cried, so I'm an emotional person, sorry. He's getting married, and they chose to get married in Hawaii. And originally, I wasn't going to be able to go because of finances. And then, with everything else in my life, I had a heart-to-heart talk with my wonderful, adorable, always loving husband. And he said I should absolutely go. So what's happening is I just had to find the cheapest airfare I could to get there, and then I'll basically be bunking with my niece and my brother's fiance's mom in the accommodations that they already booked, and so I'll be able to be over there. I'm only going to go for 4 days, but I'll be able to see my brother's wedding. I'll be able to see my niece and nephew, so that's really exciting. But of course, with going to Hawaii, like most people would figure, you just want to feel like you're the thinnest you can be. Why, I don't know, but it's just, that's the thing. You figure there's bathing suit situations probably. I actually have to ask my brother what all they want everybody to wear, because I'm really not a dress girl. I'm pretty much a jean girl. I'm not even really a short girl. Short, not short in stature, but shorts. I don't like to wear shorts. And given that other question about that is, speaking of that, the deal about the skin. People keep asking about the tightening of the skin. I am pounding MSM right now, pounding it. And also, you know, the light weights for my arms. I really am seeing a good change as far as the skin that's like on my inner thighs and behind, like my back, the back of my thighs, like kind of where the buttocks and the thigh meet. There's definitely been improvement there. But at the same time, like I tell everybody, we all have to have patience, because, you know, the blessing with HCG is that we lose so rapidly. But at the same time, because we are losing rapidly, it just doesn't give our skin that same catch-up time like traditional dieting does to be able to shrink to the new size. So we just have to have that, you know, understanding that, you know, thankfully we are blessed with supplements and different tips and tricks that can help accelerate the skin tightening process, but still at the same time we have to also just muster up our own personal patience with the process as well. And you just have to remember that our skin, our dermis, is constantly it's constantly renewing itself. It's, you know, it's lost, you know, skin cells slough off, new cells are being produced. So whenever you can get stuff in your system that's helping with the collagen, helping with the process of that cellular situation, of course that's going to help. But again, it's a process, so have the patience with it, and blah, blah, blah. I know I'm even boring this one here. Okay, so, all right, guys, so that's it for now. That's what I'm going to cover on it. So, yeah, so basically, I'm still not going to call the last round. It definitely was not a failure. It definitely helped me get a new set point that my body is comfortable at, and that's very good. I know I got in sizes lower than before, and that's a nice goal to hit. And, you know, it did what it was supposed to do, and what I was trying to push to do beyond that, Dr. Simeon said, no, it's not gonna. So I'll try some other means, and I'll let you know how all those experiments go, because you know that's what I do. Lab rat. All right, guys, thank you so much. Love to all. Happy releases. And in any phase that you're in, stick with it. Be true to yourself. Love yourself and be good. Thanks.